To start the project, you're going to cut your cardstock, and I'm using 300 GSM cardstock here. You're going to cut this at 11 3/4 inches by 7 3/4 inches, and you need one of those. And then you need two pieces that are both going to measure 6 3/8 of an inch by 7 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so this is going to be the cover of your album. So if you cut those out, all the measurements will be over on my website. I'll leave the link below the video so you can see the videos in step, and the measurements will be there. The next thing you're going to do is bring a scoreboard in. I'm just using the Scoremaster here, but any scoreboard will be absolutely fine. And on each end, on the large piece, I want you to score in 3/8 of an inch. So if you go to your inches, and if you count in 1, 2, 3, it's the one before the ½ inch, and just score all the way down. This is going to make our spine. Okay, so that's the spine on one side, but now we need to make the spine on the other side. So I've just turned it. So again, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and just come all the way down again. Okay, and that's created your spine. So that's your cover. Then you've got your two outside pieces. So again, you're only going to score on one side this time, but 3/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, all the way down. And you're just doing this on one side. And again, on the second piece, 1, 2, 3, all the way down. All right, so that's all your scoring done. And then you're going to bring in your bone folder, and I've popped mine away, so let me get that back out. See, I packed and tidied up before I started filming, and I knew I shouldn't have done. Anyway, so let me find my bone folder. There we go. Because with all my albums, as I say, burnish, 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 because then you get nice crisp folds and your project will come together nicely. So I'm just using a bone folder here, and I'm sure it's something you've all got in your crafty stash. So I'm doing that on all these pieces. So as I say, this is a request by Lisa. I had done one of these before with just the normal pages, but she wanted it to be flip-flap pages. So it's very easy to do, but I thought rather than just show you the flip-flap pages, and if some of you haven't seen the original album, you can then see how to make this one, and you could go back and make the original as well if you wish. The choice is entirely yours. So as I say, I'm using 300 GSM cardstock. You could use 12 by 12 scrapbooking card as well. I wouldn't go anything less than a 210 at least. So, because by the time you've added your glue, and you know I like my Collal glue to give you an extra layer, and your pattern paper, all will be fine. So, we're now going to glue these together. So you're going to get one of your sides and one here. So to glue the construction, I'm using tacky, because I like the tacky glue for construction, because you get a nice quick grab, which is what it's all about. I'm just popping that on there, and then I'm going to butt this up to this, and then just flap that over. Okay, gives you a little bit of wiggle room, so you can make sure you're happy where you are. And if I just turn it over, just making sure you're not on the score line, but everything matches up straight, because this is all the construction. If you get this construction right, it's like foundations of a house, you're good to go. And the thing is, with these albums, they are going to last for years, but they will only last for years if you spend the time putting the construction together. So that's the first one. Now I'm just going to flip this over because it won't fit in with the camera and do the second side. Okay, so I'm just coming down here with my cal out. Made a bit of a mess there on my desk. So that's not very good to start, is it? So I'll just wipe that up. Nice thing about it is it rubs away clear. So don't worry about if it seeps out onto your project, because that's another reason I do like it. So I'm just going to flap over again. Okay, that just needs to come out a little bit there. Then I'm going to turn it over. See, got that wiggle room there just to bring that up to the top here. And just take your time, just making sure you've got it where you want it. See, I've got some on my project. Just rub it away with your finger dry. Don't start using a wet wipe or adding wet, because it will just make a mess. And then with your bone folder again, just going over. Okay, and the same on the reverse there. Okay, so that is now our cover. So you've got a gatefold cover there. So you've got a good start to any album really there, all ready to go. Okay, so that's that. I'm just checking my measurements. They should be, that looks just a little bit wider than it should be. 6.5. No, that should be fine, because that'll just give that little flap over at the front there. Now this is the stage as well. Okay, now if you don't want a total flap over like that, like I've got here, you could trim that down, but personally I think you need, it's just got about 1 inch to flap over. Otherwise, if you've got it butt up close, it's not going to work. Now this is the stage as well you're going to add your ribbon. So I'm going to flip over, going to flatten this down, because this is where I'm going to add my ribbon. Now you could be precise, and that is entirely up to you. I know a lot of you know I like to eyeball, so I'm going roughly about there. Okay, I've just made a mark with my embossing tool there and there. Okay, now I've got some ribbon to match my project. Okay, I'm going to be using paper collection I'm using is the Peony Nature's Garden from Crafter's Companion. I know it's an older collection, but it's one I love, and I just thought it's perfect for this. So just got some double-sided tape. Now the ribbon I've got here, I've got 2 lengths of ribbon, and these are about 14 inches long. But again, choose the ribbon to match your project. And I'm just going to pop it where that mark is there. Actually, I'm going to go over that way. I'm just going to put that over there. I'm not going to take the back off at the moment till we add the pattern paper. But I'm just putting this in situ now, so I know I've got it down and I haven't forgotten about it when I come to stick my pattern papers down. Okay, so that's that bit done. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is to look at our envelopes. Now I'm just using normal 7x5 envelopes for this project. So this is something everybody's got, and this is why this album works really well for beginners as well. I've opened them all out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to be going along in a line. So let me move that out the way so you can see. So I'm just going to be sticking them down like that. Now I'm going to show you a basic album, but as the album comes together you will see you could use these as pockets. But this is something you could add to later. I want to show you the basic album. When you've made it, these are the little added extras you can do yourself. Alright. So this time I'm using my all-purpose. So I'm just going to stick that onto there. Now it doesn't matter actually which way round these stick, as long as they're stuck down. So I could put it at the back, or I could put it at the front. Choice is yours. In fact, I think I'm going to go on the front. So I'm going to fold that back, and then all I'm doing is matching everything up together, because you're going to have a concertina page on this album, and this is what Lisa requested that I share. Okay, so that then all lines up nicely on there. Okay, and then you're going to do exactly the same again. All right, so glue on there. I like doing this in real time because I know a lot of you like to craft with me in real time. It's like having me as your workshop in your home, which is just lovely. It's just the power of the internet, I think, is marvellous. So I'm going to pop that on there. Again, just make sure everything's straight. And then this is going to attach to the back page. So all you're going to do is you're going to concertina out. Okay? And that is the beauty of it. Okay, so it's different page system to my original. I will put a link below as well to the original album if anybody fancied making that. No problem at all. So let me do the same again. I'm adding 3 pages to this album because of the spine. If you wanted to add more pages, what I would say is just adjust your spine depth. So if, say, you wanted to add 4 pages, I've gone for a 3/8 of an inch spine. I would then go for 1/2 inch spine. So just allowing extra space for the papers, your photographs, all that type of thing. Okay, so this is where really the sky's the limit. You can add as many as you like. And don't forget also, you don't necessarily have to make this album with 7x5 envelopes. I'm using 7x5 because the original was done with 7x5, so I thought I'd do the same because Lisa has requested different page format. You could do this with square 5x5 envelopes, 6x4 envelopes. The choice is yours. All you got to do is adjust the measurements of your covers. So this is a great way of using any spare envelopes you've got. And if you're really careful, any that you, say you've got a birthday and you get lots of cards, similar size envelopes, and they've only got the name written on the front, there's nothing wrong with them, not been sealed down. You could use these quite easily. Okay, so great way of using up envelopes as well and doing a bit of upcycling. So we're going to add these to the centre of our book now. So we open up our book. Okay, and these are going to go, decide which way around I'm going to pop them. Okay, can you see how I've got my envelopes in and I've got a little gap top and bottom to make it nice and neat for the book, and I've got room on the spine. Okay, I could even probably with this go for 4, but I'm going to stick it at the 3 because time you add all those photographs, you see, that's what you want. Okay, so I've got it folded with this flap here, and this is going to be glued onto the back, and I'm going to use my all-purpose again. So all I'm doing is gluing that last flap that we had. Okay, and then I'm going to pop the last flap. Let me put this down and I'll show you. Pop that last flap onto there, and then just go in with your finger, or you could go in with your bone folder and make sure you've got a good stick so you can see where this is in the book. Okay, so this is this side. I'll do the same thing again so you can see what's going on. So this is going to go on this side. So again, glue just on the flap. And the nice thing about this, the Kalal as well, is even if you're using really thin pattern paper, this is great because it just works. So again, just laying that down, making sure you've got that nice little gap top and bottom. I hope you can't see my head in the shot. So if I just bring that in, you've got a little gap there in the middle because you've got to be able to grab it as well. Going to open that up and just give that little burnish. And there we go. So this is your main construction of your album using 7x5 envelopes with the measurements. The measurements, I'll put the link below so you can see over on my website. So for those, everybody that likes to know all the measurements and everything. So the next thing we're going to do is to decorate. So I'll do that in the next video. So if you watch the next video along, you'll see how I decorate it, and also giving you all the measurements for all these parts of your album. So watch the next video. I'll see you then, and we'll get those pattern papers out ready to decorate our album.